Check out the latest footwear innovation from Adidas, the Adizero Adios Pro 2, which features carbon fiber energy rods that are both lightweight and precisely tuned for a more anatomical transition. Everything from the ultra-light polyester upper to the re-sculpted midsole and the reinvented outsoles are designed for speed. Visit adidas.com to learn more today.
Some read self-help books. Others use meditation. At New Balance, it's believed that peace can be found with a run. You're never truly prepared for adversity, but certain things serve as a guide for moving forward. Whether sprinting or running marathons, the physical and mental requirements become ingrained. Visualizing an outcome, synchronizing breath and body, pushing past pain and fatigue. Those hard-learned lessons serve as a blueprint for overcoming obstacles and achieving balance in life. Go beyond the run at newbalance.com.
Hey, and welcome to the Hypothalamic Amenorrhea podcast, an adulting advice podcast production. I'm Dani Sheriff, and this is the place to come if you care about getting your period regularly. This podcast aims to educate, inform, and keep you motivated on your period and HA recovery track. And quick disclaimer, guys, I'm not a doctor, and none of the information in this podcast is intended to replace medical advice. Always seek the advice from your physician. Hey, guys. Welcome back to the Hypothalamic Amenorrhea podcast. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. So I hope you're taking a lovely stroll today, or maybe you're listening to this on Thanksgiving Day. A bit of a walk before you get into all of the festivities. I wanted to make this episode because, it just felt timely, obviously, but also I asked the gals over on Instagram how they're feeling about Thanksgiving. What's coming up for you when you think about the fact that it's coming up and you're trying to recover your period, or you're trying to keep a recovered period? A number of women reached out. A number of women were looking forward to the season because having all these other people around them eating so liberally, that can be helpful. Then another number of women, it was about 50%, had concerns. So on this episode, I want to address those concerns. We're going with 3 of the ones that came up the most. Concern number 1 was getting comments about my weight gain. And concern number 2 was getting comments from people who will notice that my eating behavior has changed, that I'm not restricting anymore. I'm going to address both concerns 1 and 2 with the same answers because they're kind of similar. And we get a little bit tactical, and I'm going to get a little bit mindset focused as well on this episode. I'm just spitballing here, but I hope that this stuff is helpful. This is what works for me. Honestly, the holiday season is not very stressful for me. I'm not someone who is really focused on pleasing others and helping others. I know, that's not a great thing to say, but I can be pretty selfish. And I don't think there's much wrong with that word. I think that word gets a bit of a bad rap. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of people struggle with the holiday season because so many other people's experiences are focused on how you show up. Do you host events? Do you go to every party? Do you buy the perfect gift? And I don't personally care about any of those things. But in general, getting comments about my body or comments about my behavior around food is something that I've never liked and has been something that I have had strong feelings about in the past. So I still feel like I can talk about this. Let's go. Okay. Like I said, this hasn't been a huge problem for me, but I am very vocal about HA. Obviously, I literally have a podcast, a blog, a community, and I coach women with HA through the process. So at every chance, I'm going to raise awareness about this issue. But many of you are also interested in changing the perspective of periods and increasing people's awareness of this issue. Everyone has a woman in their life, his or her life. And just imagine how this one piece of information could impact the trajectory of another woman's menstrual health. So if that's something that resonates with you, perhaps being open to the opportunity to tell people about what is happening is key, rather than seeing this as a stressful event that can only be filled with pain and anguish. But if sharing isn't something that sounds fun to you, but you're faced with grandma is asking about your weight or why you're eating so much, and whatever, keep listening because obviously you need a retort. I think that my tips can be maneuvered to work for both situations. People that want to share what the hell is going on and people who want to shut people up. It's kind of a twofer. So first of all, use this as an opportunity to spread good word about period health. But it's important not to be on a soapbox about it. People are not receptive to your tangents. Think of people who swear by the paleo diet or the keto diet or CrossFit and they just talk your ear off about it. You almost want to push back on people when they do that because it's just annoying and just makes you not open to hearing about things. So approach the subject, the answer to that question, gently, quickly, and non-intrusively with tact and elegance. The tact and elegance of a queen. This is great because it means that you don't have to spend too much time or energy on this topic of conversation. It can be exhausting to educate others, so do not push yourself here. This is not your responsibility. You do not have to fix these people and the way that they think. This is not your job today. So when someone makes a comment on your weight or your behavior or whatever, you simply shoot them back with a quick, yeah, I've been trying to get my period back. Or, yes, I'm really excited about it because my health has been improving. Hey, have you tried the pecan pie yet? You just have to address their question, give a quick answer, and change the subject for both your sake and theirs because they will not know where to go next. When you say like, oh, I'm trying to get my period back, trust me, I've done this a million times. People are like a deer in headlights. They just freeze and freak out. So if you're like me, you can do that and enjoy watching them squirm. You do you. Personally, I think the world needs a little bit more of that, but that's not for everyone. I guess it's just like, it's the same when someone notices changes with you in the other direction, right? Oh, you've lost weight. In the past, you might have raved about your new workout regime or whatever. You were pumped about it. But why can't you respond to this with that kind of attitude? Why can't you manifest that for yourself? I know you don't truly feel as the same way about it, but why can't you try and respond in the same way? Can you use that same enthusiasm to quickly inform and close the conversation unless they become more open about about hearing about it? It might sound crazy, but the chances are that this strange positive reaction that you have towards your changed body or lifestyle or eating habits might strike a chord with the person that you're talking to. It's so different. It's so new. How can they not notice this about you? You have to expect that some people are going to notice, and some people are going to say, oh, you look great. You look like you're glowing. You're going to get all kinds of mixes. And tell me on, Black Friday or whatever, tell me what experiences that you had. I would love for you to come and DM me and say, like, did you have a shit experience or did you have a good one? Like, I'm so curious. This is going to help me for next year's content for sure. Okay. I think that it's just really important to reiterate this fact that the less you push on the subject with these people, the more open they're going to be about learning about it next time or coming to you for information when the time finally comes that they're able to hear this or that this is relevant to them and that another woman in their life needs this help. If it's not relevant to them, it's not going to resonate with them that much, and that's okay. It wouldn't resonate with you either if this wasn't happening to you. So, just say it, educate them really quick and move on. And this also just decreases the amount of time you need to spend.
Check out the latest footwear innovation from Adidas, the Adizero Adios Pro 2, which features carbon fiber energy rods that are both lightweight and precisely tuned for a more anatomical transition. Everything from the ultra-light polyester upper to the re-sculpted midsole and the reinvented outsoles are designed for speed. Visit adidas.com to learn more today.
I'm Katie Grossman, the ultramarathon runner sponsored by New Balance. I'm also a creative professional, wife, and mom. Life has gotten crazy, especially after battling a tumor, but running still improves my life, both physically and mentally. Go beyond the run at newbalance.com.
And thinking about the subject, evangelism isn't the goal of the day. Being with friends and family and thinking about other stuff is the goal. You are just trying to get through this one little hiccup that happens when you sit down next to someone that you haven't seen in a year. Okay, I hope you can see really how that tactic can be used to spark awareness on the subject, or you can flip the switch here and just use it to get people to leave you alone. Go in knowing what you want your intention to be for the day. Do you want people to know, or do you want to avoid the subject? And allow that to guide the small tweaks that you need to make in those quick sentences to acknowledge, inform, and close the conversation, or move the conversation. And of course, if you need to be out of function with certain people who make you uncomfortable, who are just dicks, then you can just plan some ways to excuse yourself from their immediate presence. Put your own health above anything else at all times. This includes your mental health and how you feel on the day. This is your Thanksgiving. This is your holidays. You ain't got time for nobody else's weird beliefs and triggering beliefs around food and stuff. Okay. And if you feel you need to, there is nothing wrong with telling people ahead of time that you do not want anyone to comment on your appearance or your eating. It is okay to be direct, and clear is kind. This is your new mantra. Clear is kind. Okay, that's that. Concern number 3. It's a stressful time in general, and being in control of my workouts and food usually helps me reduce stress. How am I going to cope? All right, just straight up, eat your normal meals. Do not fall into the temptations that you've maybe done in the past to restrict so that you can quote unquote afford to overindulge later. This is what inevitably causes you to overeat in one sitting, which is stressful to you both physically and mentally. When you're well fed, you're less food focused. You're more focused on the day and your company, and you're going to walk out of the festivities feeling how you're supposed to feel: connected, nourished, and happy. This time and this season in your life is about you and not about others, as much as it may be marketed to be about others. Be diligent, but be diligent, I guess, with your joy and your relaxation through this period. Like, go for a walk with a hot chocolate, or take a bath with a book. Visit a friend, go for a drive with your partner and your dog. Like, this is about you, and maybe one day you'll have a bunch of kids if you don't already have some, and it won't be as much about you. But take this opportunity that you get to recover from HA to make it about you. Okay, the next one is to have phone numbers of your support or your treatment team, if you have one, and your friends, the people that are available to you that understand what's going on. This means that if you have a coach, or if you're part of a group, or if you have a few friends in the community, swap numbers and keep in contact with them, reminding yourself that you are not alone. Encourage each other to keep on track with your recovery protocol. And be kind and compassionate to others and yourself when they're struggling. Now that is what is the festive spirit. It's not about what present did you get for people, or how did you make people feel like you took care of everything this holiday. No. It is about being compassionate to others, not placing judgment on others, and basically everything that people do wrong during the holiday season. I know that a bunch of the girls inside of the HA Society have swapped phone numbers and talk all of the time, and that alone has made the whole thing worth it in my eyes. So be sure to plan some time for yourself and do something that you enjoy. It is very important to take special care of yourself during the holidays. If you find that the holiday season did not go to plan afterwards, and you're like, shit, that went bad, I have way more emotions and feelings around how everything happened, just remember that this is a part of the process. And this is one of the most important things I want to take away for you. It might not be easy, and that's okay. I wish so much that I could give you advice that made it all go away, but that's not really how it works. You don't just walk through everything in a day and you just don't get a total perspective shift overnight. It just doesn't work that way. I mean, it can, but it's very occasional. You've had many, many holiday seasons now going through the same emotions. And if this is your first holiday season in HA recovery, then you're going to have to expect it to feel a little weird and a little uncomfortable. But remember, this is an opportunity to not to try and fix yourself. No, but you're not broken. This is an opportunity simply to observe how far you've come with slowly changing your view around what it means to enjoy a holiday meal and to be present with your friends and your family and to move on the next day like nothing ever happened. Because the reality is that one meal is not going to make you gain 100 pounds, just like one meal is not going to help you get your period back. Happy holidays, friends. If you are loving this episode, please shoot me a DM. I really want to talk to you. Tell me what was or is your holiday survival plan here. Are you just not seeing anyone anyway because of COVID? Or do you plan to be loud and proud about it? And if you're just going to be a little bit more reserved and you plan to dodge the whole conversation with everyone, like my family's in Australia. I ain't getting there. If I want to go back home and see my family, which I would have done, I would have to do 2 weeks in quarantine at $3,000 of my own expense to stay in some kind of gross hotel like a Formula One or a Motel 6. So I'm basically never seeing my family again indefinitely at this point. So it's just me, Jake, and my dog. I mean, that's so relaxing. I'm already pumped about it. With that said, I have nothing to do. So if you guys need me, I can be your support person. Come on over. Let's chat. I've got your back. Okay, guys, thank you so much for listening today, taking time out of your Thanksgiving period, weekend, long weekend, whatever it is. And I can't wait to see you guys later. Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for listening today. And if you want to get involved in the conversation with me, with other amazing women, just like the ones that you hear on the show, I recommend you get on the waitlist for the HA Society. It opens on the new moon of every single month. So if you're not on the waitlist, go to the show notes or just head to waitlist.thehasociety.com or thehasociety.com or wherever you want to go and join on that waitlist. And whilst I have you here, I think it would be amazing if you left a review for this podcast. Rate and review the podcast. It helps give me clout, allows me to get more badass guests on the show, and helps other women just like you find the podcast more easily when they're searching around the internet, all confused why they don't have a period, and it can help them find us in our little community that we have right here. Okay, I love you. Have a good one.
Some read self-help books. Others use meditation. At New Balance, it's believed that peace can be found with a run. You're never truly prepared for adversity, but certain things serve as a guide for moving forward. Whether sprinting or running marathons, the physical and mental requirements become ingrained. Visualizing an outcome, synchronizing breath and body, pushing past pain and fatigue. Those hard-learned lessons serve as a blueprint for overcoming obstacles and achieving balance in life. Go beyond the run at newbalance.com. Gym sessions and sweaty summer activities are back, which means more funky smells in your clothes because sweat leaves behind bacteria that causes those hard-to-remove odors. Clorox fabric sanitizer products are ready to zap the stink out of fabrics in your home by getting rid of 99.9% of odor-causing bacteria. Eliminate odors in every load or sanitize fabrics between washes with one of our fabric sanitizer products. Search fabric sanitizer at Clorox.com to learn more. When it counts, trust Clorox. Use as directed.